Have you ever looked at the massive sports betting industry and thought, I could get in on that? It seems kind of impossible, right? Competing with those giants? But what if I told you there's a playbook, a clear strategy for launching your own empire? Well, today, that's exactly what we're breaking down.
All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get a feel for the betting gold rush. Then, and this is the important part, we'll look at the three main ways you can get into the game and weigh those options. After that, I'll give you a simple four-step launch plan, and we'll wrap up with the real winning strategy that truly makes all the difference. So, first things first, let's just talk about the sheer size of this opportunity. This isn't just some passing trend. We are talking about a global, multi-billion-dollar industry that is just exploding right now. So, what's behind this massive growth? Well, it's pretty simple. You've got this huge wave of legalization sweeping across the US and Europe, and at the same time, pretty much everyone is walking around with a super powerful betting machine right in their pocket. And what that means for you is that even with the big players out there, the whole pie is getting so much bigger that it's creating brand new opportunities for smart entrepreneurs to jump in. But that's the big question, isn't it? You see these absolute titans out there, and you think, how could I possibly compete? And here's the secret. You don't. You don't try to fight them head on. The key is to find a smarter, way more accessible path into the game. And it turns out there are really three different ways you can go about launching your own platform. And I'm telling you, picking the right one for you, that's probably the single most important decision you're going to make. To make this super simple, let's just think about it like you're trying to get into the food business. You basically have three choices. You could buy a franchise, you could build out a custom food truck, or you could, build a whole restaurant from scratch. Each one has totally different costs, timelines, and amounts of creative freedom. Okay, so path number one is the white label. This is your franchise model. Seriously, think of it like opening a Subway. Somebody else has already done all the hard, complicated stuff. The software, the payment systems, the legal licenses, even the 24/7 customer support. Your job is to slap your brand on it, market the heck out of it, and bring in the customers. It is by far the fastest and least risky way to get started. Next up, you've got the turnkey model. This is your custom food truck. You get this fully equipped vehicle, the engine runs, the kitchen works, but you get to design the cool logo on the side, you create the menu, you run the day-to-day. So in the betting world, this means you get a lot more control over the look and feel of your site, but it's also going to take a bit more money and effort to get it rolling. And finally, there's the self-build. This is building that 5-star restaurant from the ground up. You're the architect, you hire the construction crew, you write every single recipe. You have absolute 100% control over everything. And yeah, the profit potential is huge. But, and this is a big but, it requires a massive, and I mean massive investment of time, money, and some serious technical skill. Okay, so now that we know the three paths, how do they really compare side by side? Let's break it down by the things that really matter when you're starting a business. This chart really tells the whole story, doesn't it? Just look at time to market. With a white label, you could be live in a month. 1 month. With a self-build, you're looking at maybe a year and a half. That is an eternity in an industry that moves this fast. And you can see the cost pretty much follows the same pattern. We're talking the difference between a smart investment and needing millions in venture capital. So at the end of the day, it really boils down to this one clear trade-off. The white label option gets you in the game fast with way less risk and a safety net of support. The self-build gives you total control and potentially higher profits, but it's going to cost you a lot in both time and money. So looking at those trade-offs, it's pretty clear that for most people wanting to break in, the white label model is just the smartest, most strategic way to go. So let's zoom in on that one and walk through the exact 4-step plan to take your idea from just a thought to a real live betting site. The whole journey really breaks down into these 4 simple stages. You start with good old-fashioned planning and research, then you find the perfect partner, then comes the technical stuff of actually getting the site live, and finally, you got to shout it from the rooftops and get people to sign up. Now, out of all those steps, I'm telling you, step 2 is the most critical. I really can't say this enough. You are not just buying a piece of software. You are choosing a partner for the long haul. Their tech, their licenses, their support team, that is the foundation that your entire business will be built on. So what makes a great partner? You see this big list, and it's easy to get overwhelmed, but it really just comes down to a few key things. First, are they legit? Do they have a great reputation and all the proper licenses? Second, can they grow with you? Is the tech scalable for when you get big? And third, will they have your back? Are they going to be there 24/7 when something inevitably goes wrong? Oh, and here's a pro tip. Never, ever, ever sign a contract before you've gotten a full hands-on demo of their platform.
Okay, so you've navigated all the technical stuff, you've picked a fantastic partner, and your site is live. You're done, right? You've won? Well, not quite. The final and honestly the most important piece of this whole puzzle is your strategy. This right here is the whole ball game. The technology, no matter which path you choose, is just the ticket that gets you into the stadium. To actually win the game, you have to give people a reason to cheer for your team. And that comes from having a unique brand, offering amazing customer service, and a marketing plan that connects with your ideal players. At the end of the day, getting the technology is actually the easy part. The biggest gamble you're going to make isn't on any game. It's on your business plan, your brand, your service, your unique vision. That's the bet that really matters. So, the question is, what's your play going to be?